Hello, my name is Roberto Sharpe. I am instructing today in Tai Chi practice. Tai Chi is a practice we have inherited from our Chinese culture, and I think it's worthy of being practiced, especially as we get older in this busy life we have. And we invest in slowing things down and in taking a look from the outside in to how we perform, how we execute very basic movements to make a picture, to depict an ancient poem about the natural realm. So in the culture, the old cultures, there was great reverence for nature as not necessarily a straight away, like worshiping nature, but more so learning nature. For example, the nature of the tiger, the nature of the horse. The nature meaning, I'm even struggling to say it clear, but certainly the essence. So not necessarily mimicry, no mimic, but what does a horse, how does a horse make you feel when you're in its presence? How might you tell a story to your village about running into a tiger or about a snake? And certain animals are projected with, these are noble characteristics. So the snake, though many might not find it an attractive creature, is respected in the older world view, and not necessarily as a cuddly pet, but as a powerful ancestral force. So in our movements, I practice mostly the Yang style Tai Chi, and Tai Chi is divided in. I say that because Tai Chi is understood as a series of actions, but framed by different families to make a style. So we have many different versions of the same poetry. So just like I imagine, if you're familiar with Spanish, you might be surprised that Italian kind of sounds similar, but it says it differently, but with a similar flavor. So I hope you, the audience, understand that I'm not presenting what is Tai Chi, but my interpretation. I'm inspired to show you the Yang style. We'll begin with a conventional warm-up drill that is known as the 8 pieces of brocade. 8 pieces of brocade, Ba Duan Jin, is said to be easy to follow and healthy for anyone, if you will. It's a generic, right? There are other practices very familiar and very similar called Qigong. Qigong or Qigong. This is a version of a Qigong. However, it is for beginners. It's supposed to be very gentle, and we'll start executing those movements in a moment. So here are some general guidelines. Take a breath through your nostrils and feel it in the abdomen. Take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yield. Let your body exhale it, whispering through your lips as if you're blowing out a candle, and follow it through. So with your hands on your belly button area, I'll add, fold your pelvis, your hips, and flex, and feel that breath hit you in the small of the back. Again, it takes a moment to feel it. So I advise you to take the 5. And when you feel like you've hit your 5 beats, release it and see what happens. So it's so sweet when it comes from nature without force. So your pelvis, your abdomen, there is a notion that the vital forces collect around this area, as if you are feeling out your inside body from your outside behavior. So hands here and here, almost like you're putting on your outfit. Your hips, your belt line, fold in, almost like you're putting something in your, tucking your pockets. And so here is inhale, exhale, and let your hands wander to the groin, to the belly, to the small of the back. Release. Now, thumbs point straight ahead. A lot of us have a habit of having our hands pointed back. And I'm saying that's kind of like something to look at, to feel how different you might feel where your thumbs are pointed forward, straight ahead. It's like, what do you want? It's a powerful feeling, as opposed to a kind of a conciliatory, hiding, come out of your shell. Inhale, draw those thumbs up to your armpit. Draw your elbows back. Take 5 for the position. 3, 2, 1, and yield. See the hip? Yes. Thumbs, armpits, elbows back. Take 5. Open your wings. Close your wings. Allow. Beautiful, man. So continue up to the collarbone, up to the ears. On the in, full expansion, spreading your lungs. Hang your elbows down, point your thumbs up to the sky, to the ceiling. Flex your pelvis. Fold your pelvis. I'm talking about this area, and you'll see your actions follow through again. Up, hold the sky with 2 hands. Open your chest. Flex your abdomen. Fold. Bring it in. Hang. Release. Support the lower back. Shift the weight side to side. Head and shoulders, almost like you're trying to eavesdrop in on a conversation to the side, each way. Supporting your lower back, pressing down to your glutes, behind your knees if possible. Thumbs pointed up. Inhaling, spreading, slanting to the sky, to the earth. Take a moment. Take 5. Release it. Heaven and earth. Dramatically flex yourself as if you're keeping the floor from joining the ceiling from joining the floor. Smile. It helps to open the heart. Exhale, release. Tempo, tempo. Alternate. Split from ground, split from sky. Elbows hang out. And now, inhale into it. Take a moment, press to your hip and push the hip to the outside. Maintain heaven, you're in charge. You have to help the cosmos. Yield. Gather. Alternate. Touch your hip bone. Push on it. Keep your feet steady. Take a moment. Take 5. And come out of it. Release this. Draw in. Open. Shift to one foot. Shift to the other. Put enough weight on the one foot to flex the hip on the other, to raise the heel of your shoe. Step back. Draw back. Inhale. Close in. Spread out. Open as if you're a flamenco, a bird, a white crane spreading its wings on the inhale. On the exhale. How many times doesn't matter, but a few to get the system. We're warming up, right? We're conditioning, preparing ourselves to practice the forms. Put enough weight by flexing your pelvis to draw the foot under. Stretch. Lean to the opposite. Put enough weight so that you can raise your heel, flex your pelvis. You'll see your knee will pop out. Slide back. Sit back. Work with your leg. Point your toes as best you can towards you, and then press them down. On the inhale, connect or feel, connect, think. Your shoulder blades, your upper back, spreading out as your chest hollows in. This is our inhale. Take your time. Test your back. Test. So, come back. Flex your pelvis to trigger the step to your spot. Continue. Work with the hip across the gut. It's like a flock of birds flying across the sky. And once again, establish the roundness, holding a ball of your own energy, your chi, your vitality. The ball spins up and down and up, shifting to the side, turning, shifting to the side. So we're rolling a ball of our own energy, square to the middle, between ground and sky, alternating, spinning the ball, so the alternate side. So you say, what kind of ball is this? It's an imaginary ball. Its potential is limitless. The potential of this ball of energy hits the neck, it hits the lower back, it hits the crown of the head, it hits the sacrum, the tailbone, the coccyx. So the ball is a metaphor to help us connect disparate points in the body. So you go to the doctor, you say, I have an ache in my back, he puts needles in your neck. You say, I have a headache, he puts needles in your lower back. The whole body can be a way to get inside. Information from the fingers to the toes, from the heart of the palms to the ball of the foot, from the heart of your palms. So we are playing with an idea to make ourselves embody the Tai Chi ball. The ball takes the shape of a bow. Thumbs, index fingers, your lungs, like you're an archer preparing to shoot spiritual forces throughout the world. In the shape of a bow, like a bow and arrow. So that ball metaphor helps us build connection, and releasing. Might be interesting to note in traditional Chinese medicine that the fingers and the toes relate to the internal organs, specifically the thumbs for the lung channel, the lungs, the index fingers for the large intestine, the middle finger for the liver, the ring finger for the kidneys, the pinkies for the heart channel. So this is draw the bow as if we're going to prepare to shoot energy out into the universe from our heart, from our lungs. Draw, sink your hips, flex your pelvis, follow through, cradling the air around us on the inhale, on the exhale. Rest. Squeeze and stretch, squeeze and stretch. I put the cane on the floor so you can see that I'm advancing as I squeeze and releasing as I return. Advancing with a squeeze, releasing as we return. Touchdown. Squeeze, advance. Yield. So square out yourself with me, your knee and your instep to the middle toes. We like that. To change your position is to change your hip, your knee, your ankle and toes. So there is a roundness from your pelvis, from your groin, that keeps you on target. With the hip bone, knee, and the knee over the instep towards the second toe, the third toe. See, when we get that habit of that notion that the knee never goes alone. The knee never goes alone. It follows the hip and it projects to the foot. Feel the force of your hands. Close and open. Turning on the heel. Hip, knee, push. Draw. Think of swimming. Following the wave. Hanging back. So we can see now, let me turn, give you the idea, the impression of not really changing, but just flexing and folding so that your hips are the master cylinder as opposed to, your legs or your arms. So the breath, the exhale. You could take a look down to make sure you're not twisted into all of us have a history, yeah? Your pelvis, down the middle. So you can check me out, I can check you out. This is a typical habit I see in my world, where the knee goes to the inside while the foot stays outside. Why? Because it tends to lead to strains. Again, your thumb, your toes. Squeeze and release. Again, take your time. Again, I have found many of my beloved community have a injury or a habit of kind of collapsing in. So they miss the mark, and I'm asking you to keep it on the mark. So rather than be the first to finish, be the most accurate one on, be the one that is taking care. And again, stretch. Clap down. Ready? Give yourself some loving taps. Massage down the thighs. Swivel. Down. Good. Inhale. So again, the unlikely, at least to the general, I think, if I hear or see the knee kind of, I'll work with the hip. The hip will tell the body, including your knees and your ankles, that it's in charge. All right. Support the lower back. Circle, pull and push out. Pull in and push out. Hang. Take a fresh breath. Release and reverse the circle. Hula hoop. Now, take a new breath. Slow down. Take it in 5 beats to release. Allow. Shift. Push down your palms as you bring out your chest. Sit down, project your fingers to the sky. So, inhale. Stand up. Sit down. Exhale. Project through your fingertips. From your lower back, from your glutes, down to the Achilles tendon. So your entire body can be part of this playful posture. Beautiful. So the pelvic tilt and the pump of energy throughout our head, our arms, our fingers. Settle down, support the lower back, circle your waistband, urge your hip, turn out. And counterintuitive, I know. Stand up but push down behind your back. Sit back, sit down, push forward and up. Again, this is a seesaw. Remember the children's park? The monkey bars and so on, they have the seesaw, the swing. How do you get the swing to move? By flexing your pelvis, holding on to your seat, and riding back with the swing. All right. Hang out. Take a moment. Take 5 to settle back into your spot. Circle the palms. Circle the elbows. Your chest. Rest. Gather the energy between your hands. Cradle the energy. Shift to one, step back with the other. Adore the sky. Take a moment, find your hips, find your knees, fold towards the floor. Exhale. Get ready. Inhale. So this is powerful here. These are soft and flexible, like wings. The bird behavior again, the hawk, or the happy human, adoring the sky, embracing the earth, cradling, balancing pelvis, that means glutes, hips, lower back, lower belly, balance. Shift, back. Flex. Take the breath, take your time to fold. Folding at the belt pocket brings your thighs, the toes come up, come down. So this is a study of the power of your torso to generate kinetic action through your limbs. The potential is inside. The inside shows out. Nothing is left out. Eventually, every point is hit. The balls of the feet, the heart of the palms, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the bladder, the liver, and spleen. So we're looking for this balance, and we show it off by our judgment to change. Continuing. So let me bring this together. Pivot, face the corner, knee over toes. Corner means straight ahead, maybe 30 degrees, 45. All right, we're going to play bow, fly, land, folding in, hollow out, exhale, inhale, expand. Now, tailbone, crown, as if you're holding a backpack, and turn. Take our time. 45-degree angles. Work with your pelvis and then let your arms and legs realize the benefit. Pelvic tilt, inhale. Neck, lower back, sacrum, back of the neck, crown, tailbone, all maintain their magnetic quality for each other. Very good. Return to the middle, collecting your forces. Rest. Sag down, pump up. Slanting, touch the outer thigh. Support your neck. Thumbs point out. Slanting, touch your thigh, going a little deeper now as we get warmed up. If you have an issue, please support it. Many of my best students started out with a nagging ache. And so the range of motion will gradually increase. All right, shake out your hands, shake out a foot, and push back, push forward, and down. See the knees and the toes and the thumbs and the palms. Helps maintain this strength of posture, even as how we hold our hands. So we move like a tiger, stretching its claws. Squeezing and then extending your fingertips. Up, over. So you're bending without moving so much, right? So there, a little baby you might see a baby do this, like, they move everything by giggling and crying at the belly, at the hips. The cat metaphor or analogy is the tailbone and the crown stretched together, like as if we had a tail, as if we had claws, as if we're a cat, as it were. So dual extension, back and front, up and down, east and west. Return. Circle to the crown. Feel your scalp. Touch your earlobes. Touch the back of your neck if you can manage it. Touch down to your shoulders, your collarbone, and let's stay there. On the inhale, show me your chest. On the exhale, conceal it. On the inhale, use your pelvis to generate the oomph, the wallop for the action. So this would be very different. Let me give you a moment to recover than doing this. You understand? Right? That belongs to another exercise class, another version. So that means we can reverse it because it is so natural to just, right? And you're coming from, because you really feel it in your soul. Yes. So that would mean if my shoulder is sore, that just might be it, you see, because no extra mustard, no extra sauce. And when it's done, it's done. The benefit, I now take a moment to expand the stance. So the knee and toe at 30 degrees. Yeah, it's called a horse riding stance. Mabu. Get out of it. Let's see, how would you get out of it? In, we're back. Okay, so take the time with me. Out, so that you're almost like you're sitting in a big chair, a saddle. Squeeze, bring the shoulder blades back together. Almost like you're trying to find an itch on your back. There. And on the exhale, show me that fist without anger. Rotate, elbow out, thumb in, and around we go. This is the inhale. This is the exhale. So I want to distinguish that this is not for martial art. Okay? This is for health. And an idea is that we're rubbing our liver and spleen. It's also, I like to joke, the liver channel is known for its psychological impact. So you're ambitious, you're optimistic, your ambition, or your anger, your frustration, your defensiveness. So we punch to drain the anger. So we put on a fierce look in our eyes. So you'll pardon me, do not run away. Glare, give them the stink eye. With the fist, on the exhale, like a lotus flower, let it become a smile. And put that smile back inside. Release, squeeze it out, exhale. So I'll exaggerate. Fresh air, smile. Mean mug it. Get down, get down, get down. Get up, get down. Let it go. Okay, one more time. Release. And bring your feet back under you, comfortable. Hands, elbows, shoulders, chest, neck, armpit, rib cage, neck support, armpit, rib cage. Sitting back, pressing the chin to the chest. Forward on the exhale. Take a moment. Take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Come out of your shell. Now, your elbows are thought to be a bridge between the outside world and you. They're maintained. And as you turn, your elbows cover your back and front. If you're familiar with Chinatown, or how Chinese people as a group will do, you will see this exercise done between any occasion, where we sweep across the belt line until we hit the low back. And let's keep the feet from moving for a moment. So you see, it just takes a twitch of your belt line, your hips. It's called the iliopsoas. You pull it in or you push it out, right? That's how we get places. So just letting your elbows be prominent, you'll see that you will find without much ado, like you're just simply almost like adjusting yourself. You are adjusting yourself as if you're in a bed. You're reclining. So the soft touch can be now, let's put a little tap in there with the back of your wrist, with your palm. And again, when we add the leg and the hips, we get a little bit different. I'm aiming for the belly. I'm aiming for the small of the back. Width of the belly. Well, what's in the small of the back? We're talking about kidneys. We're talking about bladder. We're talking about stomach. We're talking about spleen. We're talking about liver. We're talking about gallbladder. And why tap it? Because for several good reasons that may sound strange, because they may be dormant. They may be cold. The wind, the environment we're in, though we are hopefully all housed properly, we're all have shelter. These practices come from a time when people did not, and were in cold and damp. So we get cold, so we tap. and rub. We tap. I suggest 3 or 4 until you get used to it. And low power, no power at all. Shoulder, hip. Buttocks. Not so hard. Easy does it now. As you sit back, it exposes you see I didn't tell you to bend your knees, right? I just told you to fold your pelvis, and you'll see you're very nice. It should not be hard. And we tap. Get to the knees, and just draw up, massage. So the shoulder. Now, collarbone, upper chest. Nice and easy now. Don't beat yourself up for the sake of anything. Be very kind to ourselves. Settle down. So to reiterate, 8 pieces of brocade. First piece, center. Open. Prepare. Support the sky with 2 hands. Thumbs up, thumbs out, thumbs back, pointing forward. To review, look for the moon. Take breath. Take 5. Center, reopen, looking to the opposite shoulder line, as if looking for the moon over Manhattan, if you know what I mean. The moon over Brooklyn. It's a different moon. Second piece, separate heaven from earth, metaphor. Your head, your heaven, your haven, your floor, your earth. Expand without stretching out, just open up. Flex your pelvis, fold your pelvis, and roll the ball back to your center line and repeat. When I said center line, I didn't bring that in. Center line is this dividing line from our head, our throat, divides the lungs, the heart, solar plexus, and of course, our loins. This center line is critical to understanding where one is at all times, to know where you are. Second, separate heaven from earth. Return to your center line, your mother, your where your umbilical cord was once. That's your center, or at least your grand central. So second, third piece. Draw the bow. Keep your horse, keep your knees and toes, your hips involved. You're on that saddle. Engage your fingers. Take a new breath. And take a pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round it down. Release it. Find your circle. Center line. Aim to the corner. Point your energies like an archer. Take the time to use your full breath of chest, upper back, belly. third piece. Hip to knee, shoulder, hip, elbow, hip, knee, and toes with fingers. On the exhale. Again, really for your lower back, don't go deep. Use your strength in your hands to help you make the change. So you feel so like you're wearing a weightlifting belt or a garter belt, something that keeps you from overstretching. Yeah? Exhale. And here we are. Now we're going to enhance this with, from your low position, with that same one hand, we're going to hold the sky with one arm. Yeah, there's a metaphor, or like the Buddha. The Buddha is so profound. The Buddha holds the whole world in just one hand. So that's the calm of the Buddha, the power and the calm. Again, how deep you go, I don't want you to go very deep until you're sure about your range. Even here, see, the thumb and elbow are still together rather than, right? Right? We're not selling out for a dance position. So now we can use the full, we can really see that one piece leads to another. So the idea of the 8 pieces of brocade is a very, it's like making a quilt. The idea of the Tai Chi body is an ideal. A continuous circle of active actions rooted in a center. Holding the ball, rolling the ball, circling the sky, the earth, the moon, the stars, the earth, drawing that ball back to your cradle. Get rid of that meanness, squeeze it out. Accept, squeeze. So what I've noticed when I do the punching, people get karate. No, right? You want to keep this down. It's very gentle, like putting your keys using your keys to open your door, right? You get it in and you're happy because you got in. You're serious as a church is because you're getting your keys in the door, and then you're happy because it worked. Follow the wave. Hips, knees, ankles, toes. Support the lower back. Take a fresh breath, release. Now, riding the horse. Rise and fall. Rise and fall. And bring the feet back together, bring the hands together. Give yourself permission to smile and breathe and restore. Eight pieces of brocade. Last piece of the brocade, here we go. Shake. Let me turn to the side so you can see something about, I'm like up, down, up, it's like, if your neighbors downstairs, if you have good carpeting, and you don't, or, your neighbors downstairs are louder than than you'd like, use this. So you're popping down, and you're shaking out. All right. Restoring simplicity. Hands and feet, wrist, ankles. Shift. Get your weight off the one foot so your toes, your ankles can reflect what you're doing with your wrist and fingers. Let's say clockwise and reverse clockwise. Clockwise and reverse clockwise. So for Tai Chi, these are requirements to do the forms nicely with your elbows and your hips ready to control, advance, return, advance. There's light, like you're trying to not wake anyone up. After we stomped, now we can cakewalk. So there's the shoulders, the chin, the tongue, the chest, and hands and feet. So we keep the center steady as we drive our foot forward and back. The second step I should focus, bring you in, is forward and of course back. Using your pelvis to extend and step back as lightly as possible and to return. So let's say this forward and with the same leg back and return. Using your hands to help keep you steady, your elbows, return. And give yourself a loving tap. The third angle of step is to the side. To the side. The edge. Now, keeping your hips, keeping your chest in the same position. So let me take a moment to bring those together. Let's put our hands on the pelvis and feel for yourself what difference it makes to go forward without landing hard. Feel it here, to go forward without landing hard. In other words, that's landing hard. Yeah? So to keep it, we call it an empty step or shubu, a very light step to the side, forward and then to the side. I can feel, we can all feel if we give it a moment. Retreating, feel the gluteus, but not the maximus as much as the medialis, right? The outside pockets of your hips. That's what helps us to extend and to return. So the rear stepping back without being heavy. So we'll make a game or pattern. Forward, to the side, to the back, return. Forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, which brings us right back home. The more advanced version of that is to take your hands off your pelvis, but hang as if you're holding a basket. And again, so here we're 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're having a problem with this one, go here. If this becomes too easy, go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Pivot on the edge of the heel, roll the belt line. Cover your belly button, cover your lower back. So from here, from this position, you see we can go forward, to the side. You can let your arms help you. Keep your torso erect. Return. 1, 2, 3, 4. When this becomes self-evident, if you can keep it together up here, down here is easier to control. Leading with a turning belt rather than a straightaway, to turn like a jazz dancer might, yeah? And to recover. So it's a curl of the belt line that produces a angular step. As light as possible. Aim to the heel, rotate. Back to the foot. Let it go. Let it swing. Pivot, swing and tap. Slanting, flying. Slanting, flying. Return to the center line, to the lower point. So these words in our Tai Chi community we take from the Chinese as best we can pronounce it. I also say it in clear American English. Dantian, Mingmen, Qihai, Hege, the tiger's mouth. The tiger's mouth is the gap between the thumb and index finger. And we keep this stretched when we play our forms. So, let me put the together. Open. Pin one hand against the pelvis, against your hip pocket. Thumb up. Turning the chest, keeping the hip from moving. The wild horse stretches its mane. Yema, Fanzong. Return gently to yourself. Switch. Pin here, action here, and here. Stretching the horse's mane. Roll the ball. Now we're going to put that hip with it, and this is Yema Fanzong, the wild horse. Now use your previous feelings to help stretch the horse's neck. Return. Rest. Swing. Embrace the earth. Draw the ball. Stretch the horse's mane. So there are 8 major moves in the Tai Chi forms that are, again, you see the prevalence of this number 8 in this system. Why the big deal with number 8 is that it's a perpetual motion impression. It's perpetually in motion, and it's consistent. So if we can do that so easily with our finger, imagine being able to use your whole body to make that figure 8 impression. From fingers to toes. So that's numero uno in my Tai Chi as a form. Being able to control the pelvis and tell yourself to stop with all of the exaggeration, to keep it in the loop of 8. Yeah? Okay, rest. Shake it off. So the second action that is significant in all Tai Chi forms, all family of Tai Chi, is from this ball, from this practice of those steps we've been doing, is brush knee, turn the waistband and push. Turn the waistband, draw the ball, pivot, brush off that kneecap as you push high. Roll the ball. So you see within our jurisdiction, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Ao shi, yao bu. And very good. Return to your center. Restore your self. Take a fresh breath. Fill up the abdomen, fill in the lower back, fill up. And a third action that is, again, we're going to need our footwork, side step, and carry the ball of energy to that side. Wave hands in clouds. Call it wave hands. Because the ball is spinning from hip to shoulder, and away we go. From the belt line, the crotch line, to the throat line. So we have almost like imagine since this is Christmas time, the northern, heavy snowfall, and you make a snowball and you carry it across. You make a new snowball, right? The snow is down here, so we need to scoop it up, pound it, pack it together, and carry it on. Now, this is one of the more pleasant moves because for me, it means it's kind of like holding someone and escorting them this way. Holding someone, escorting them to the side this way. Yes. And cloud hands. One side drifting. So if we do a number, let's take a number that makes it catchy. 4. 3. 2. 1. 1. 2. 3. And 4. So we get this sense of the lightness of the steps has a residual impact on throughout the body. So what I do with this affects that. What I do with that affects this. As if, and I believe it's true, we are connected to something in common that's invisible. From the notion of the ball comes just about everything. The next is drawing the sparrow's tail. It's like lifting, pushing up, circling the figure 8, and coming back down to your belly. Again, the same direction. It's called ward off. Ward off is like an umbrella, a parasol that you open, that you protect your territory, and you fold it back. Switch. So the ball is lifted at a vertical angle and then circles. Think of the number 8 back to yourself. So shift, and we'll complete the full There are 4 moves in the sparrow's tail. There's ward off, there's roll back, there's squeeze, and there's push. From the ball to the alternate angle, again, we'll name out the benefits. Ward off is a lung energy. Roll back is stomach, spleen energy. Press is kidney energy. Push is heart energy. So there's a range within our figure of 8 that returns to the simple circle. Pulling on one side of your pelvis pushes the other side out. Pulling on one pushes the other side out. The pulling side, the pushing side. Like a rooster on one foot, walking in place. Pulling to push, sitting to stand. Golden rooster. Jin, ji, du, li. Again, if you don't want to take your foot off the floor, just flex your pelvis. Your heel will come up. You've got your attitude of your rooster. Tuck the tailbone, balance. With your wings. Take the breath. We're preparing. So we worked at our crossing hands for a moment. Just stick it there with me. The heel, the footwork, the forward, the side, the back. Sit down. Separate. Kick away. So the footwork, 1, 2, 3. Draw close, 4. So your thighs, you see you're not, we're aiming to go not straight ahead, but to the diagonal, and we kick. Now, so see the hands cross, the wrists cross. Can we step back to the point of a crossed leg stance? So this kind of helps to open and close and separate to the 45 degree. So within your fundamentals, we have, just to review, stretching horse's mane. From the middle, from the ball, hips, knees, ankles and toes, shoulder, elbow, thumb, wrist, both sides, all sides. We have the cloud hands, rising, turning over, falling. The rise, drilling, spiraling, falling, returning. This also comes with the footwork, the side step footwork. The blade of the foot, the heel to the ball of the foot. From the cradling ball, we have sparrow's tail. Ward off, roll back, press. Get ready for your pushing. Figure of 8 into sparrow's tail, like an umbrella that you're closing back in. Squeezing, pressing, yielding to push away. Golden rooster. golden rooster. Your footwork pattern. Just this is all in review. We're going to wrap up soon. Give you enough to work on in your home base. Return to face the mountain. Closing. Balancing the heart. Nourishing the chi, the vitality, until you can't help but feel yourself vibrating head to toe. Let me bring in to close this session, healing sound, the wonderful sound of Shi. Take a fresh breath, draw it in, sing it out. Shi. Shi. Hollow it out, drain it out. Bring your heels back together. Thank you.